Waycross presents a forum for Springfield Township Trustee. There are 2 candidates running for 1 open position. The candidates are, in alphabetical order, Sarah Braun, Christy Dukes Davis.
And welcome to another election forum. This forum is for the office of Springfield Township Trustee. I'm Kurt Radel, Government Programming Coordinator, Waycross Community Media. Ms. Sarah Brown and Ms. Christy Dukes Davis are the candidates for the office of Springfield Township Trustees. Unfortunately, Ms. Sarah Braun is under the weather and not able to make it to the forum tonight, and we wish her a speedy recovery. All the candidates were sent invitations via certified mail. In a moment, the candidate that we have here will have the opportunity to give a 2-minute opening statement. Before we do hear the opening statement, let's take a minute to let all the viewers know if you're watching this forum live on October 3rd, you'll be able to email your questions to the candidate. I'll be able to answer your questions for them. Email your questions to live@waycross.org. There are a few rules for the email. You must be a resident of Springfield Township. The questions must be addressed to all the candidates and not only one. And please include in the email your name, address, and the town you live in. I will not read all that content. I simply will give your first name and the street. Questions, as I said, need to be phrased directly to the candidate. Now, it's time for the 2-minute opening statement. And welcome. And Ms. Christy Dukes Davis, you have 2 minutes with your opening statement.
Thank you so much, Kurt. First of all, I'd like to thank Waycross Media for hosting this candidate forum this evening, and I'd like to thank you for the invitation to participate in this candidate forum. I am Christy Dukes Davis. I am chairman of the Springfield Township Board of Trustees. I'm a graduate of Princeton High School. I earned my undergraduate degree from Northern Kentucky University and my graduate degree from The Ohio State University. In my community service part of my career, I serve as the president of the Board of Trustees of Linden Grove School. Linden Grove School is a K-8 school for autistic children and children who have the autism learning related needs. I also serve as a board of trustee for my alma mater, Princeton High School, for the Princeton Education Foundation. And as a result of my work and my support of the local arts here in the area, the governor of Ohio recently appointed me to serve as on the Ohio Arts Council Board. So I am very excited to be here this evening to share with you all the great things that are happening at Springfield Township. Since the year 2020, when I was elected, Springfield Township has realized $75 million $75 million in private investments that came from both redevelopment and new development projects. And it's not limited to High Grain Brewery, the Chick-fil-A, Me Cozumel, City Barbecue. So I'm very excited to talk about those great things that are happening here within the township.
Very good. And we're going to ask you a series of questions, 2 minutes for each question. First question is, what do you think are the top 3 issues facing Springfield Township today?
Sure. One of the first top issue I believe that's facing the township is recruiting and retaining good employees, especially in our police and our fire department. Those are just not 2 professions that people are signing up to work in, to serve in. So when there are top recruits that are coming out of the academies, we have to be very competitive and offer non-traditional ways to recruit and retain these employees in that job sector. Another issue that I believe that we have within the township is with every good deed, there's sometimes a bad result from a good deed. We've repaved over 25% of our roads here in Springfield Township, and as a result of the nice, clear paved roads, we have issues with speeding. So we have to come up with a way where we can deter speeding, and if we come up with a way to deter speeding, then maybe we can put that in a bottle and replicate it throughout the county, because speeding is an issue throughout the entire county. But we are quickly addressing issues regarding speeding within the township. And the third issue is, I can't think of a third issue. Just retaining good employees and having people want to work in the public sector is one of our biggest issues.
Very good. Now, what is unique about your skills and experience that you can bring to Springfield Township as a trustee?
Yes, so I have the unique skill to, my master's degree is in public administration and leadership. My undergrad is in organizational leadership, and I just have the skills necessary to bring people together, and I have the expertise to do what's right for the township. I have the education, I have just the skills necessary to serve as a trustee.
You mentioned about redevelopment and business.
Yes.
Where do you see business development going in Springfield Township? Apparently, you've had some success.
Yes. So more specifically, we have the new Tri-Health facility that's on Galbraith Road, and we have a new high-grain brewery. Unfortunately, on our Winton Road corridor, we just don't have the space to accommodate every business, although we would really like to accommodate everyone, any business that wants to come. But, and we are a community that is non-contiguous, so portions of the township are all over the place. So we are in the process of conducting our community master plan, and we have hired a planning firm that is, and we're out meeting with residents and getting feedback from residents in terms of how they view the township in 20 to 25 years. So we're gathering that feedback, working with the planning firm, and hopefully they will identify other areas of the township where we can focus on to provide some redevelopment opportunities in other portions of the township other than our Winton Road corridor.
Now, I want to pause for just a moment to remind our viewers, if you're watching this live on October 3rd, you have an opportunity to participate by emailing your question to Ms. Davis, and I'll be able to answer those questions and ask the questions for you. You can email your questions to waycross.org. So let's continue on. Now, what are some of the things that you've seen Springfield Township government improve? Some improvements.
Yeah, so we have improved the cleanliness of our neighborhoods. Our Office of Sustainability, Innovation and Sustainability, it's a cross-departmental group of staff members who come together to come up with streamlined services that will improve efficiencies throughout the township. And one of the ideas that came out of that work group was the idea for neat streets. And quarterly, we go around to our different communities and just focus on litter and trash pickup. So that's one of the great things that has been improved as a result of the Office of Sustainability and Innovation. Another great thing that has improved is our police officers and firefighters. As a result of the Office of Sustainability and Innovation, another great idea that came out of that was a creation of a language line that will help police and fire communicate with residents when they're out on emergency calls. So there's a lot of times when there are language barriers that cause our police or our fire not to be able to render aid or render service. So the Office of Sustainability, that work group, came up with a language line, and we were able to secure grant funding to fund the language line. So those are some great improvements in that at the end of the day, it really improves the quality of life for all of our residents here in the township.
Retention of business is always a challenge.
Yes.
What can Springfield Township do to keep the businesses in terms of retention?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in a location, a neighborhood where it's good for business, it's good for residents. So we have to make sure that we, our police, our fire, our first responder services are intact and maintained. We also have our Springfield Township Business Network, and they meet monthly, and it's a group of community leaders, members from our school district, and local business owners who come together and just talk about issues facing them as a business. So that's a support group, if you will, and so that's one way that we can hear the concerns and feedback to help whatever the issues are that are of concern. We also offer we have a business improvement grant that we offer to our current businesses, and they can apply for this grant, and it's through our Community Improvement Corporation. It's our 501c3, and they can apply for money to help, do whatever type of improvement that they like to their business. So those are ways that things that we currently have in place that are meant to retain the good businesses that we have here in the township.
Well, we talked about business retention. Let's talk about attracting residents. What can Springfield Township do to attract residents to move here?
I think the same thing. We just maintain our great police service, our great fire. We attract more economic development. We create spaces where families want to move to, and specifically we are revitalizing Water Nature Preserve and making that into just a nice area where people can go and walk their dog, and so just parks and amenities and just gathering places where new families will want to come and raise their families.
You talked about getting feedback from the citizens with that support group, and you talked about grants being available. Are they at different level grants? Is it based upon what your needs are? How does that work?
Yeah, there's an application process, and it's based on what your needs are, and there's rarely an amount. I guess I shouldn't say it like this, but it's based on what their needs are, and if there's funds available, then more than likely businesses will receive the grant if the money hasn't been exhausted for that year.
Yeah, because of independently owned businesses always face a challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
And restaurants, for example,
Yes.
about 80% of them fail in the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that support is important. What accomplishments are you most proud of?
Oh, I'm most proud of the Water Nature Preserve and the revitalization that has occurred under my leadership in Springfield Township. When I was out meeting voters in 2019, I heard overwhelmingly that the residents wanted to maintain that area, the green space area. Prior to my tenure on the board, there had been some conversations about redeveloping and developing that area and putting businesses or a building or what have you there. But I heard from them in 2019 that that's not what they wanted. They wanted that space to remain green. And I'm very proud to say that that space has remained green, and I took it back to my colleagues on the board, and everyone was in agreement. It took a little bit of coaxing, but everyone finally was in agreement that that space should remain a green space. And so I'm very proud of that
Well,
accomplishment.
and it is important for businesses to feel that they have a path to be
Yes.
heard.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, what are you most proud of about Springfield Township?
The diversity of the township. We have several unique communities, several unique neighborhoods within the township. You can go to a pocket neighborhood down across from Drake Hospital all the way to Pleasant Run Farms up near Fairfield area. They're very different communities, but there's a sense of home, and people value their community. And I just love the diversity of our community.
We'd like to mention again, Sarah Braun is also a candidate for the office of Springfield Township Trustee. She's not feeling well this evening, and we hope that she will feel better very shortly. Now, we're nearing that time for the final statement. If you want to give your final 2-minute closing statement,
Okay.
go right ahead,
Wonderful.
Ms. Davis.
Again, thank you, Waycross Media, for having me this evening. And I hope, Sarah, you feel better, and we missed you being here. I'm Christy Dukes Davis, and it has been my honor to serve as your Springfield Township trustee for the past 4 years. I look forward to moving forward and serving the residents of the township, and so that I can continue to make it a great place for all. You can always reach me, residents, via the township at kdavis@springfieldtwp.org. If you have any questions about my campaign, please feel free to contact me at christydukesdavis.org. Thank you so very much for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes.
I also want to thank you for joining us live for those who are watching tonight, October 3rd. Now, if you need more information before you vote in the upcoming election, you can watch all of our election forum programs at .waycross.tv. You can also go to the Hamilton County Board of Elections website to make sure you are registered. Look at a sample ballot and find out where your voting location is. Register to vote by October 10th. Voting is on November 7th. I'm Kurt Radel, Waycross Government Programming Coordinator, and we'll see you at the polls on November 7th.
Waycross takes no position on candidates or issues. We conduct these forums so that our viewers may be better informed voters for the November 7 election.
It's always